Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, we're going to give you an update on WWE's plans for Bray Wyatt.
WWE's signing spree is set to continue.
We've got the latest on WWE New Japan relations following the Good Brothers' return.
And, not another one. AEW signed someone new. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Let's talk about Bray Wyatt. He's back. He's back on the scene, crispy and clean.
Oh.
Mean bean machine. I don't know,
Good.
man. That's Dr. Robotnik.
That's his new Tron, I've heard.
Never mind Eggman. It's Robotnik or death.
Yeah. He's going to come out in a giant bean on Friday.
That's his new gimmick.
Michael Sidgwick's going to blow his beans.
Have you heard his new entrance music? Bray Wyatt, in Green Hill Zone. Anyway, this has gone off the rails already. Sorry, friends. We just got a little bit of an update here. So obviously he was back at Extreme Rules. He was not really on Raw. They had the video. What was the exact phrase? Revel in what you are.
Yes.
Spooky vignette. It interrupted the announcers. He wasn't really in it, but it was clearly his deal. And he's going to be on SmackDown this week. That's been announced by WWE. They've released a short statement saying, with the WWE Universe still in shock over his epic return in the final moments of Extreme Rules this Saturday, it has been revealed that the ominous Bray Wyatt will emerge to the blue brand. So he's going to be there on Friday. Lots of marketing speak. As always, PW Insider's Mike Johnson has since reported that Wyatt will only be appearing on Friday nights. He's a SmackDown exclusive, baby.
Ooh.
He's not going to be brand fluid. He's not going to be like flying around Raw and SmackDown, it seems. He's a SmackDown guy, which does kind of, when you think about the business of this, it's the biggest show, SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's on a bigger platform with Fox. Wyatt's big name. It's going to attract, you'd imagine, he'll attract nice audiences.
Yeah, look at the numbers even when he's teased.
100%. And people who are into Bray Wyatt, they don't just kind of like him, they love him. So they're probably going to watch every single tiny thing he does.
Yeah.
So that's probably the rationale behind it. You can make a creative argument. Maybe you could argue the Raw needs him more. Maybe you could argue SmackDown needs him more. I think it's interesting. But there you go. That's the score with Bray. I'm sure we'll see him on Friday.
Yeah, a little bit surprised by this. As you say, I thought maybe they utilised him to boost Raw's rating. They did well this week off the back of presumably people thinking that Bray Wyatt's going to be there. And then they were like, well, we haven't got Bray Wyatt, but Brock Lesnar's knocking about if you want him instead.
Yeah.
And I thought of it then, and I was like, it's pretty stacked on SmackDown already. You've obviously got the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and you've got Karrion Kross, who are seemingly both on the up and up. And then I thought, well, you don't always have the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, do you? And I don't think Karrion Kross is a big enough star yet to carry that show. Wyatt is a week in, week out star, one would assume.
Yeah. And they'll find some headline making stuff for him to do as well. There's going to be weeks
Have
where
him kill Drew.
Yeah.
No offense to Drew, but he's in the Finn Balor position from when The Fiend arrived.
Drew could use something a bit of a different flavour, couldn't he?
Write him out, have him go away, have him come back at the Rumble, everyone goes, yay, it's Drew, then have him turn heel because he needs a little bit of freshening up for me.
And once a month, Bray Wyatt's gonna set people on fire, or blow up a box-like structure or something wild.
Or you could have, and don't say no immediately, you could have Bray Wyatt on come to SmackDown, right? And obviously his big thing is Sister Abigail, mixed tag, Bray Wyatt and Sister Abigail versus Drew McIntyre and Sweet Caroline. Why I've not been signed to WWE Creative, I have no idea.
Well, you know what? Halloween is just around the corner, and we never did get to see Bray Wyatt as Sister Abigail versus the pumpkin demon Finn Balor.
That really was a missed something.
He's back on the board, baby. Here we go. Is Halloween not on Monday this year as well?
Yes.
Oh my God! Put him on Raw. Wow, we've solved.
Yeah, have him show up there for
We fixed it. We fixed wrestling.
You've got to do a spooky, yeah. I know he's mainly on SmackDown, as Andy alluded to there, but one-off, if it's Halloween, give me it.
Give us the pumpkin demon, baby.
Exactly. But speaking of Bray Wyatt, he's obviously been part of a major signing spree for WWE. Yeah. Wyatt, Anderson, Gallows, Strowman. And then you've obviously got Sarah Logan seemingly returning on SmackDown very soon as well with Viking stuff. But, as I mentioned in the intro, this signing spree is showing no signs of stopping. Alliteration. Sort of. And Dave Meltzer is reporting on the most recent episode of Wrestling Observer Radio that, Triple H is going to keep doing what he's doing. Mia Yim is apparently of interest to WWE. A lot of these people I'm going to mention here make a lot of sense because Triple H has a previous relationship with them, or is a fan of theirs, or stuff from NXT or whatever. Obviously, Mia Yim, free agent after a deal with Impact expired. Not the only one from Impact whose contracts expired that WWE is interested in. Former ROH champion Matt Taven, you may have seen getting mentioned on social media. You may have also seen on social media that ROH alums Vincent and Dutch were backstage on Raw this week. They may be heading there. And also, there is a claim from Meltzer that WWE are interested in Jonah, of course, the former Bronson Reed, who was North American champion in NXT under Triple H, has been doing stuff in New Japan, hasn't he, Andy?
Yes, he has indeed. And there was a report on him about a month ago. I think it was from Andrew Zarian, forgive me if I'm wrong, stating that WWE seen his G1 Climax run, where he had great matches with guys like Okada, and they were like, oh, yeah. Triple H obviously knows him as a quality because he had him in NXT and stuff as well. But yeah, it looks like comeback season is not slowing down anytime soon.
It's exciting but incredibly worrying at the same time.
Well, it's just, it's really refreshing to see that all those people over the past 3 years who have made those always honest and in good faith and well-meaning arguments about AEW signing too many wrestlers are now making the exact same points about AEW. They're definitely doing that. I'm being facetious, of course. My stance on signings has always been the same. I think you bring in anyone you think you can do good business with and you can make money with and you can do right by creatively. If Triple H thinks he can do that with these people, then fair play. But when you have an expanding roster, you obviously have problems that arise from that, and then your tenure is going to be defined by how you deal with those problems. Has AEW dealt with those problems particularly well? Perhaps not, given recent news stories. How will Triple H deal with them if they arise? We shall see.
WWE has more space for them. But not that much more space. I don't think if they said, we signed someone and they're going to be the biggest star on main events.
Sure. Yeah.
I could already, who was wrestling on a main event, ironically, at Brooklyn? Was it Mello was wrestling on there, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. And so was Von Wagner.
Yeah, I feel like you've got, it's like a, what's it called? One of them when it all comes.
A funnel.
Yeah, log jam. There you go. Where I'm already sat there watching NXT, going, you don't need to be here. I'm not get rid of them, but as in they need to go to the main roster. Sure. I'm talking about your Mellos, about your kilograms, people like that. I'm like, yep. If this is, conditioning for, they're ready. Tech them, and then bring newer talent in. Maybe they'll put Mia Yim back on NXT. Maybe Matt Taven will go to NXT. I don't know. I'd say learn a lot from. I know a lot of it is bad faith stuff, but it is legitimate. Some of the stuff with AEW. And do you have to sign everyone right now? Is my thing.
Sure. It's a double-edged sword, 100%, and. But looking at these names, Mia Yim obviously didn't have the WWE run she would have hoped for. She's obviously...
Wait a second. You say when she pretended to be covered in spiders to get one pinfall but not win the entire match for Retribution, that wasn't her dream?
Neither was sitting out for a full year after that, ostensibly for no reason. But yeah, I mean, she's very talented. Yeah. I think Matt Taven, if they were to bring in Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis Bennett, obviously, and they did the Kingdom or something in WWE, that'd be really cool. That's a cool act.
Well, stables going on.
Yeah, and the righteous Vincent Dutch and maybe Tyler Bateman, maybe they're looking at him as well. I'm not sure if they are, but he's great, so they should. They would fit in extremely well alongside Bray Wyatt, or maybe they want to do their own thing. So you can see where they would use these people. The conversation remains the same for regardless of what company it is. Let's stop being weird guys on the internet. And
I can't stop being a weird guy on the internet.
I'm a weird guy in real life. That's how I balance out. But one way you can stop being a real weird guy on the internet.
How?
Subscribe to the channel.
Hey, click the bell, the ding ding.
Clickety click microchips. Sure. We've got an update now on the New Japan situation with the Good Brothers, which was quite interesting. They debuted on Raw. But it was previously reported by Fightful that they had commitments with New Japan through Wrestle Kingdom, which is on the 4th of January. Also, Carl Anderson, small matter of being the never openweight champion.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting question that arose in the wake of all of this. What's going on there? Will they be able to do the dates? Are they done? Fightful have a new update here stating that they've heard from Carl Anderson specifically, who has said that he will indeed be working Wrestle Kingdom. Also, another interesting facet of this is that yesterday, New Japan announced him for a title defense. What's the exact date? It's on the 5th of November in Japan, in Osaka, versus Hikuleo. Never openweight title match.
Yeah.
So former stablemates collide, all of that good stuff. Additionally, Anderson has told Fightful that him and Gallows were informed by WWE that New Japan were clued in on what was going on. So it seems like they're going to honour those agreements. That is good. That is wholly positive. I saw people like, oh, maybe Okada could show up on Raw now. Cool the Jets. We described a little bit the potential problems with New Japan WWE relationship yesterday. But yeah, there we go. Just nice.
I actually got more details on this. I haven't been able to officially release it, but the exact verbiage was Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, I'll turn it on. Anything else? I'm good. Honestly, get someone who hypes you up like Gallows does to Anderson in that presser. It's on my Twitter, by the way, at Adam Wilborn. It was incredible when that first hit the internet.
That backstage promo they did like a month ago where they were talking about their balls as well.
Daddy Dangley.
Nobody else can make that work. They made it work.
Yeah.
They made it work.
But the forbidden door's been flung open, and yeah, Okada's going to work Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Yeah, confirmed. Heard it here first. We're getting Yano versus Brock Lesnar. That would be ace.
Yeah,
that would be ace.
I normally like to shut down any forbidden door conversations, particularly when it comes to WWE, because it's not going to happen. Yeah. Move heaven and earth, Triple H, because that's your mania right there.
Taping Brock Lesnar to the stage.
You can do whatever you want with Roman, Rock, whoever, Cody, I don't care. The other night of WrestleMania's main event is right there. He's just said it.
Also, The Fiend versus Shibata.
Right, another signing for AEW, Zach Clayton. He off of getting battered by Hook on Rampage in like 14 seconds or whatever it was. He's dating JWoww, I believe.
Yeah, he was on one of the Jersey Shore spin-off series they've done. Yeah.
He has worked mainly, obviously, outside of that showing on Rampage on Dark and Dark Elevation. But he's got some wins recently over a load of crap people who always lose on there. But he also has been doing some stuff with Seidel and Dante Martin. He's been signed. He's an indie standout. I don't know a great deal about him other than him getting wrecked by Hook. But I think there's a difference between it signing no offense to him, but Zach Clayton and someone who you think,
Adam Clayton from U2. Yeah, he'd be a lot worse.
Then he's not going to be someone who they're going to go, right, okay, he's got a main event Rampage and
sure, yeah,
and Dynamite. He's someone for the future, though.
Yeah, it seems like he at least through his presentation opposite Hook, it looks like he's going to be in that kind of goober heel role that they've had people like Tony Neeson, Jay Lethal's done it to an extent. Josh Woods is kind of now in that as well.
What's your man who's the brother of Dolph Ziggler called?
Oh, Ryan Nemeth.
Yeah, Ryan Nemeth.
So they've got a lot of these kind of like smarmy heels who just get their ass kicked by more established dudes, and maybe that's what they're going to do with him. Maybe they have grander designs. Zach Clayton, I'm not actually that familiar with. I like coming on here and being the nerd guy because I watched too much wrestling and going, yes, I have seen this guy perform in front of 20 people on IWTV and it ruled. I'm only really familiar with some of his squash work in AEW, really, so I'm looking forward to learning more about this gentleman and wish him all the best, just like anyone who signs with a major company.
Yes, congratulations, Zach Clayton, more than deserved. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Of course, if you want to get in touch with us. John Harrison starts us off today saying, good Wednesday, boys. Is Bayley on a losing streak, and is this going to cause Dakota and Io to turn on her and have Sasha Banks return to save her friend? Have a great day. You have a great day too, John. We were talking about this on the Raw Review podcast yesterday.
Yeah, interesting one. I think personally, for my tastes, I would prefer Damage Control to stay together for a while. I would like them to have a good run, have a long run together, have a title glory-filled time, so that 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, when you look back on that stable, you can go, hey, that was really good. Because if it was to end today, like 3 years from now, or next week or whatever, 3 years from now, you go, why was that so short?
Won the tag titles.
Yeah, it'd be a bit like Zelina Vega and her loser mates, except, a bit more, and not as losery because they haven't lost every single match and they've got belts. But
we're not talking about Legado, by the way, there. We're talking about every stable Zelina's headed prior to that.
When it was Theory and Andrade and...
Every time they added a new member, they lost the first match.
Yeah, it was atrocious.
I did the math.
So I would like them to have kind of a legacy run, and I think that would be really good for Io and Dakota as well.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see them going down the route of splitting because Bayley's in crisis at the moment.
Yeah, do it. Do it, to be honest. I think Dakota Kai eventually needs to turn babyface. He's far better as a babyface, in my opinion. Io Sky's just great. Just great in a wrestling ring, face or heel for me. But yeah, do it, especially if your big picture stuff and your pitch to Sasha is come back and we'll give you the tag titles and we'll make them important. Can't think of anything much bigger than giving them to Bayley and Sasha, win them. She comes in, helps her mate. They hold them till WrestleMania, then the Iconics win.
I would say when they bring in the Iconics back, that might be. Who knows?
Don't give me hope.
What happened with them? They retired properly, didn't they? They said they were taking time away.
That's what you would say.
Another aspect of the Sasha Banks thing, I think it'd be quite cool if she's coming back. I would like her and Naomi to be a thing. Like the way they left together, clearly very close. I think that'd be pretty sick. But there's lots of options.
Or you could do her versus Becky Lynch, the man versus the Mandalorian. She was on it. I know she wasn't the Mandalorian, by the way.
No, she was. She was Baby Yoda.
Live long and prosper.
Yeah. What other characters from that? Baby Yoda was on it, wasn't he?
What's that one? Babu Frick's over in the WhatCulture.
Babu.
Hey!
That's the bounty hunter guy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Babu Fett.
Jonathan Johnson gives our second question of the day, saying, "Is Sami Zayn getting the type of reactions that Daniel Bryan used to get in 2014?"
Interesting. Nah, I think they're a little bit different. Danielson.
Yeah, that one.
Yep, Planet's Dragon
Goat
champion. Goat Wyatt family guy. His reactions came from like the perception that he was really held back, and it was like a rallying against the booking and all this stuff, and he was such a great underdog, struggling, clawing his way to the top kind of character in that role, and it was like the culmination of that. I think Sammy's is a bit different. Sammy's isn't like you're being booked like crap. Sammy's is you're being booked extremely well, because he is being booked extremely well. So I think the situations are very, very different. Sammy is extremely popular, obviously. He's doing a great job. They're doing a great job. It's great across the board. I love these little moments like where Sammy does something really stupid and Roman's character just breaks and he just laughs. And he's like, "Oh god!" When he called Logan Paul the biggest number 2 he'd ever seen, which is the most juvenile rubbish line of all time. But because it's Sami Zayn, it works. And Roman looked like he was going to piss himself.
Only Sami Zayn can get away with the phrase "yeet my dog."
Yeah.
On Monday Night Raw.
Like that guy in the video the other day. He got yeeted by the dog, didn't he?
He did indeed. But also, we talked about this on the pod as well yesterday. Sidgwick drew sort of comparisons as well with WrestleMania 30 Daniel Bryan, which speaks volumes. And Sidge had a great pitch, which I'm just going to give to you now. At M. Sidgwick, go and give him all the flowers that he deserves for this. He suggested that when they eventually presumably turn on Sami Zayn, the bloodline, have a little word with the sponsors and go, "Can we just do it this once? Bloody him up. Really fuck him up."
And you can do that.
Because he could be an incredible, Royal Rumble challenger for Roman Reigns. I don't think he's the guy to take the title off him, but by God, if he does have that match, he's going to hit a haluva kick, and I'm going to go, "Oh my God, this is it."
It's going to pop your wig off.
Credit to WWE, they're doing phenomenally well. And also credit to the tweet that I saw yesterday that said, how he's become the guy in WWE from being just the work rate guy. You can have good matches and make other people look good and lose.
WWE TV MVP.
Daniel Murphy gives us our final question of the day, saying, "Good morning, dynamic duo of the news. With Bray returning Extreme Rules, what is your favourite wrestler return and why? Now scissor me, Daddy Eel."
Right, I'll go and get the eel.
Right, okay. I'll talk about my favourite returns whilst Andy goes to get the Eel's brother, of course, the Eel. We're both going to say Punk, obviously. I'm going to say Edge at the Royal Rumble because... my God. And in terms of wrestler returns of being in attendance for, I literally nearly passed. That's really ominous because it was like a shadow.
He's like Nessie.
I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes returning at WrestleMania. I literally nearly passed out because I screamed so loud when his theme hit. Favourite wrestler returns, Andy?
Triple H 2002, Bret Hart 2010. I have a special place in my heart for John Cena in that Royal Rumble where he came back like Lazarus, because it was like the reaction of it rules so much, and I've said this before, but because it was so unforeseen and he was so quick and he wasn't expected back for ages, everyone initially was like, "Yeah!" And then they were like, "Oh no, I hate John Cena."
Was it MSG?
It was MSG, yeah. I wish they used that venue more for pay-per-views, like with a door and all that. It's great stuff. But yeah, those and But if you had to make me pick just one, I would say Brett in 2010, because it's like the screw job was just hanging over wrestling for so long. It was really nice to see him back, even though
and then we never had to write about it again.
Oh yeah. We never had to watch that WrestleMania match with Vince either. But anyway, scissoring.
Punk. It's Punk in it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, probably.
It's Punk. Now scissor me, Daddy Hill. Billy Gunn's going to get his head caved in by Swerve tonight, isn't he? Good luck to Swerve.
Before we continue, rate the quality of the and finally that you laboured to find for today's video.
Yeah.
Give me a star rating before we progress.
Star rating, I'm going to go a good 3.5 stars.
I've got a 4.5 here.
Okay.
So which one do you want to go
Take it. No, you've got it. You take it, baby.
Remember the dog video we did yesterday?
Yes, we mentioned the dog wrestling, yeah.
Got an interview from the guy who jobbed out to the dog.
I saw his tweet.
It's very funny.
Saying that he was over, yes.
Very, very funny. So this is Psycho Mike. You might have seen the clip.
You've all seen the clip.
The guy who loses to the dog. There's the little Aussie shepherd. It's really funny. He's basically cut a promo on this dog.
Brilliant.
It's really funny. So he was asked about it, and he's in an interview with SE Scoops here. Shout outs to them. He says, not much to say, really. The dog wasn't trained to lay down on her back, so she couldn't do the job. No big deal. I'm a professional. I'll put her over. We called a few spots to make it look competitive, but right out the gate, she botches the shine. Whatever. These things happen. I'm ready to call it on the fly. Remember, this is a dog.
Yeah.
But then the dog goes into business for herself and starts shooting on me. I'm just trying to get my Anyway, we're supposed to be going Broadway, 60-minute time limit draw.
This is far better than mine, finally.
But I call an audible and take it home early. Rough night. And then the interviewer, BJ Bethel, asks, the dog was working a little snug. Do you two have heat? Psycho Mike said, liquid magma heat, tired of these canines walking into our business without paying dues. Fantastic.
What is his name? Psycho Mike?
Psycho Mike.
Go and follow him. Go and follow him.
Scoops.
He deserves it after that. Brilliant.
Incredible.
More of that sort of thing.
Unreal.
Also like the idea of becoming a wrestler and going in for a meeting and going, okay, so we're working together tonight. What do you want to do? And going, I can't lay down, so I have to win.
Yeah.
It's genius.
A dog communicating its demands.
I'm going on a Goldberg streak in WCPW. I can't work, so I'm just going to have to win.
Well, how does a dog speak? I'm a dog.
We're going to put him for the WCPW show, though.
The F&A. I almost swore there.
He's working Phil Chambers.
He's working Phil, baby.
Phil's gonna take that boy to school. He's gonna stretch him.
The eel's gonna ride him to the ring.
The eel versus the dog.
Accompanied by a flatty.
It's coming. WCW is coming back.
You just need to stop making these promises.
We're manifesting this. I'm gonna find out how much that dog costs a book.
Yeah, well, Ospreay still hasn't been on after you said all his moves were bad. And you said he couldn't wrestle. You said he was like.
I think that dog could beat Will Ospreay.
Yeah, you called him like a Essex Conor McGregor.
I'd love to see Will Ospreay work that dog. I think Melson could give him 5 stars.
What was it? Magaluf the wrestler. That's what you called him. Yes, he could.
Sorry, Will.
Will Ospreay would do a good job with a dog, man.
Yeah.
I'm
getting 5 stars working Will, so it doesn't really matter.
This is it. You could probably put him in the ring with the flipping eel and he'd do a good job. So.
Psycho Mike.
Shouts to Psycho Mike.
Follow him on Twitter. Excellent stuff.
Made me laugh this morning.
Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at Adam Wilborn. You can follow Andy Murray
at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for hey, hope you're having that bodacious week.
Yeah. Hope hump day isn't too bad for you. At WhatCulture WWE for all of us. WhatCulture Wrestling for Daily Wrestling Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. You know the deal. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you soon.